Hey, this might be a spoiler for some people out there, especially if you haven't seen the latest episode of Falcon and Winter Soldier, which I have not. But
Oh, Nora.
I hear, and this is no surprise, but I hear, and this is going to be pretty cool, Captain America 4 is in the works.
Uh-oh.
Captain America 4 with Falcon and the Winter Soldier showrunner Malcolm Spellman. Perfect. That guy's perfect to do it because that show captured Winter Soldier, the movie, so well, man. It's an extension of that movie, Falcon and Winter Soldier. This is from Hollywood Reporter. The head writer and show creator behind Disney Plus's and Marvel's The Falcon and Winter Soldier is developing a fourth installment of the Captain America film franchise for Marvel Studios. And there's Spellman right there. Spellman will co-write and script with Del Muson, a staff writer on Falcon and Winter Soldier. No casting for the project are officially known, but Friday's episode offers plenty of roads for the feature to take. I'm not going to go any further because for those of you who haven't seen it yet, I don't want to spoil anything. And I don't want to spoil anything for myself because I have not seen it yet. What I will say, though, is I'm loving this show, and I thought that there's a lot of promise with making and I got a question for you right here, Christian. This might be a lot of hypotheticals based on me having not seen the last episode yet. But let me see here. But I thought that it's a lot of promise going in with Sam Wilson, the Falcon, Anthony Mackie playing the character, becoming Captain America. You know, I've kept saying, and a lot of people don't like me saying this, stop bringing your social issues and race always into comic books and into my fantasy stories, whatever. I'm like, this series addressed race straight on. It addressed racism straight on. So don't fucking tell me not to talk about race when they're actually talking about race. And another thing is that one of the reasons why these Marvel shows are doing so well is because they are giving a spotlight to characters now who didn't get it before. People of certain races, women, they're allowing you to tell these different stories. So I bring that criticism up of myself to bring up a bigger and wider question right here. Because a lot of people have even said, and a lot of people say this all the time, and it's like the people say, I'm boycotting this. I ain't never, like when they see an interracial couple in a paint commercial or something, I'm not buying that anymore because you're trying to force your agenda down my throat. And then nobody, you know what happens after that? Nobody gives a fuck. Nobody cares. Ain't nobody stopped buying that paint. In fact, if it was easy for you to buy, you bought it too. You just added your own dose of racism to it. But when I look at Falcon and Winter Soldier and people saying, you know what, I'm out of here. I don't want all these social issues in my show. I watch this stuff to escape. All right, go escape somewhere else and take your ass on. Do you think that this would apply to the movie when it comes out? Do you think that it could potentially hurt the sales of a Captain America 4 movie if they're having Anthony Mackie as the Falcon, as Captain America, and if they bring up certain racial issues with it?
That's interesting. I mean, number one, I want to address this, that when people say leave your social issues out of comic books, you're acting like the X-Men wasn't a parallel for the civil rights movement. Like comics have always been doing that. So it's fucking insane to say that. You found yourself on the wrong side of the politics. Now you're mad that everything's political. That's number one. Number two, I don't know, right? Because Black Panther was this huge fucking event, grossed over $1 billion, over $2 billion, didn't it? Ultimately, like it made a lot of money, I think. Yeah. And so it's like clearly we can. It's not like America and the world is super against a black superhero. But I do wonder when you say, hey, this is Captain America, what that does for people. And I do know there was a small fraction of people who watched the show and were a little shitty about it. So I want to say that, I think there will be a noticeable effect, but I still think this is Marvel, and Marvel's making $1 billion pretty much on everything they do at this point anyway.
Yeah, I think, first of all, Marvel has the right balance of bringing up social issues and just remembering that, okay, still people want to be entertained. So we want to acknowledge this, we're going to address it, and we're going to make people feel special who want to see that. But we're not going to be real heavy with it, man. We're going to make sure that there's plenty of action in there, there's plenty of superhero antics in there. They got the right balance for that. You got to consider the other thing, though, is that they've been addressing all kind of issues. I like the way they pinpoint on the racial issues, but they never talk about PTSD. I don't want to have to deal with that in my fantasy and superhero stories, because the whole Bucky Barnes story, man, they dealt with his PTSD there. Nobody's talking about how that is taking them out of their escapism. You know what I mean? So, but one of the things that I think that softens the blow is that you've had Sam as Captain America in the comics. So when people start going a little bit crazy, they start losing their minds, you have that nerd sitting there, it's in the comics. So right. I think people have already been conditioned to see that. I think that if they do make a movie that, and they address those issues, it'll be the same way, because Black Panther did it, man. Black Panther, I mean, how more straightforward racial can you get where you got a dude who wants to kill all white people? I think they could do that with a Captain America 4. And Marvel is such a machine now. Yeah, people go see it. People ain't going to say shit. They'll say they won't go see it, but they'll go see it.
Yeah, well, because they'll be left out of the cultural conversation, and no one wants that, right? It's the FOMO, but Marvel edition or something. So yeah, I mean, I hope not. I mean, my whole thing is that I got mad at this series initially because I was like, they got another Captain America. I got so angry about it, and it's just like, all right, I hope that we can really kind of go all in on a giant theatrical version, And this felt very big, and it did feel very much a successor to Winter Soldier and all that, but it's not the same thing as seeing it on the big screen. And I think most people would agree with that.
This is cool, man. I mean,
and you said it's the same showrunner, right?
I believe, yeah, I believe the same showrunner or writer. Let me see here. The writer and show creator. Okay, yeah, I guess he is a showrunner. Yeah. I
mean, that's great. That's great news. I think that's what people want to hear, especially because those, the Russos came in with Winter Soldier and then what they did with Civil War, and then basically became the go-to directors, right? Like in a lot of ways, I think Winter Soldier was the moment that the MCU really kind of elevated for me. I know that's post Avengers, but I mean, like that was the first one where they just wrapped their superheroes in a genre. That was like, hey, we're doing an espionage film now, and it was awesome.
They joined S.H.I.E.L.D. to protect people. To build a better world sometimes means tearing the old one down.
Yeah, man, that was a great turn of direction for Marvel, man. I think it's one of the things, just like later how Guardians would kind of change things. Yeah. Winter Soldier really changed things. Yeah, man. I'm looking forward to seeing the episode now, man, especially with this news. I mean, I don't think it's a big spoiler. Everybody knew that Sam was going to be Captain America. I don't think
well, the other thing too is just like, Captain America was, I would say, a second tier character up until Winter Soldier. I like the first Avengers, fine. It's not like a bad movie or whatever, but Iron Man was clearly the heavy hitter in those first four. And then something happened with Winter Soldier where I think we all stopped like comparing him as a lesser character. By the end of it, Captain America, Steve Rogers, my favorite character in the whole MCU. So I think that this is really interesting. They have like a big legacy to kind of do, and the fourth film could be another one of those like Winter Soldier, Guardians. It could be one of those game changer films,
Completely agree, man. Yeah. Man, this stuff keeps getting exciting, man. Marvel just dropping shit, man. Dropping constantly good shit. Can't wait to see what they do here. Can't wait to watch that episode. Hey,
plus we got Loki in like 5 weeks too.
I know. Loki, to be honest with you, like I got to give respect and love to Falcon and Winter Soldier, but Loki's the one I've really been looking forward to. That just looks.
That's because you want to be Loki. You want to be an agent of chaos. You want to be.
I am Loki. Nah, man. Nah, Loki just looks like a lot of fun. It's all over the place. I don't know what to get from it. Like when I watched WandaVision, I didn't know where it was going, and that was exciting.